Micromobility America is the world's largest convention of small electric vehicles. Hosted in the San Francisco Bay Area, it boasts a collection of vehicles focusing on electric bikes, scooters, boards, buggies, motorcycles, and more. Companies are showing off their latest while over 100 speakers of the alternate transportation universe share their knowledge on stage. My name is Nick and I talk about two-wheeled wonders. Subscribe for regular content. And this event was incredible. I was elated to have had the chance to go, and over the span of 2 days, dozens of on-stage talks took place by a wide range of people. Business, tech, sales enthusiasts, engineers, regulators, and more, covering topics such as battery safety, repair, shared mobility, last mile logistics, and much more. And if you're interested in watching any of the talks, they should be appearing on the Micromobility Industry's YouTube channel in the coming months. They are well worth the watch. However, the main attraction for myself were the rides, more specifically the utilitarian and commuters. I rode a lot of vehicles over those 2 days, and I can't talk about all of them, so I'm going to name my favorites with some honorable mentions thrown in. Starting with the Ebikes, there were plenty of e-bikes to be ridden of all shapes and sizes. Honorable mentions go to Tenway, AGOT, a step-through bike with a cool gear indicator, and the whole range from Eovolt, just some incredibly compact foldable bikes with automatic shifting. But my favorite from the lot had to be the Bellecour from Voltaire. A French company harnessing the elegant style of years gone by have produced something that I honestly can't stop thinking about, because when I first turned the corner on the test track, I actually passed it by because I didn't realize it was an e-bike. Obviously, once I properly looked at it, the seat tube seemed particularly suspicious and spacious, which makes sense because that's where the battery hides, conveniently removable by flipping the seat forward. Something else that stood out on this bike that separated itself from its predecessors was the chain, or lack thereof. This bike uses a carbon fiber reinforced rubber belt. It wasn't alone in that respect. Many had a similar situation, which delivers a silky smooth pedaling experience, the likes of which I don't think I've ever felt. And while I'm on that subject, I have to make note of Veer, who are showing off their belt-driven 2-speed wireless electronic shifting system. It's called Shift, and it was pretty cool. But back to the Bellecour, what I really loved about it was the simplicity. Integrated light, single speed, and in the cockpit, 2 brake levers, a bell, and a small screen displaying your battery speed and assistance level. That's it. Turn it on and pedal. Now they offer an A-frame model called the Legendre, but the step-through Bellecour had a very comfortable upright ride that I just couldn't get enough of. So there it is, my favorite e-bike from Micromobility America 2023, the Voltaire Bellecour. Onto the electric scooters, again, plenty to choose from. Honorable mentions go to Plus and VMAX. Though not available for private sale, Plus offers an incredibly compact scooter, unbelievably light, and is chargeable with a USB-C cable, a dream scooter for solving the last mile problem. And VMAX, with their VX2 Pro, their mission statement is E-quality, and this thing feels incredibly solid with a snappy 500-watt motor, turn signals, and a respectable IPX6 water resistance rating. This scooter really feels like it has the potential to be a top commuter contender, and I will be putting one through the paces soon, so get subscribed if you want to see that. But anyway, not only 2 honorables, I also have 2 scooters that I really liked, and they are wildly different. Starting with the more conventional is the recently announced Apollo Go. They claim this to be the unicorn scooter, and that just may be the case. With dual 350-watt motors, 45 km/h top speed, 60 km range, turn signals, dual suspension, dedicated regen brake, advanced lighting, phone display if you want, a proper locking mechanism when folded. Really, this is just a dialed-down, affordable version of their Pro model with all the bells and whistles. Now, this is not the lightest scooter I have ridden at 44 pounds, but for its size, it is incredibly quick, and thanks to the increased angle of the stem, is very stable. I look forward to doing some in-depth testing with a final release model, as this prototype didn't have front suspension, but the Apollo Go is poised to be the first scooter I will be recommending to those looking to electrify their commute. And the second scooter I really loved was the Swifty Go G500. And I had never seen this scooter before or even one like it. And to be honest, at first glance, I thought it was a foldable e-bike, but nay, this is not an e-bike. This is what I would call a premium utility scooter. It's the cargo bike of e-scooters. But it's more than that, it's also a call for safety in more ways than one. Starting with the obvious, the UK-made G500 boasts possibly the largest wheels on a scooter at 16 inches, only the Dualtron City coming close at 15. And in concert with the dual suspension, this lends to the smoothest scooter ride I have ever taken. It really takes bumps like a champ. It's capable of carrying a payload of up to 330 pounds, which is just as well because this thing has storage on both ends, with an optional pannier rack on the back. It's powered by a 500-watt rear motor capable of a 25 km/h top speed and 40 km range, which should be enough for most urban trips. But another place it really stands out is the battery, being the first scooter to have LFP cells. While they may have the downside of slightly less energy density, they come with multiple benefits. More consistent power output while the battery depletes, capable of more charge cycles, is more stable and less prone to thermal runaway and overheating issues, which is one part of that safety I was talking about. This could very well set the standard for the industry as we see deadly battery fires on the rise. And the other part of safety goes back to the wheels and geometry. This thing is a stable ride. And I suspect that this will laugh at bumps and holes in the road that would best be avoided on other scooters. It's just an unforgettably stable ride that puts a smile on your face. And it turns out I'm not the only one who thinks so. After riding it, Horace Dediu called it the Rolls-Royce of scooters. And in the end, the Manchester husband and wife duo won this year's Micromobility Startup Awards. So there they are, the Apollo Go and the Swifty Go G500, my favorite scooters from Micromobility America 2023. Now, there were a bunch of other types of rides, cargo bikes, motorcycles, microcars, electric skateboards, but I can't cover everything that piqued my interest, so I'm going to name one more favorite. But before that, I'd like to mention an e-bike from Electric and something else called Sartée. First, Electric's Expedition is a beast of a cargo bike capable of carrying a whopping 450 pounds and a price tag that ain't bad to look at. In the Sartée, which stands for Safe, Affordable, Reliable, Innovative Transport, it may look like a microcar, but it's actually a Canadian-made e-trike with an aluminum cage. It was quite the ride. But anyway, the last that has made my list is the S80 from Sartée Bikes. While this may belong in the e-bike category, I believe cargo bikes deserve a category all their own. This thing is a beast, hand-built in Pemberton, BC. The S80 is the smaller offering from Sartée. It is pedal assist, but also has a thumb throttle, powered by one of the strongest hub motors you can find with a peak output of 1500 watts. It comes equipped with a battery up to 1800 watt hours and regen braking, all of which is awesome, but the main attraction, hauling capacity. You have a rack on the back fit for panniers, but more importantly, the front bin, which is room enough for 2 kids or a huge load of groceries. This was the first front load cargo bike, bakfiets, whatever you want to call it, I've ever ridden. And it took me a few moments to get the hang of having the front wheel so far ahead, but I was soon locked in and ready to roll. And at that point, it more or less felt like riding a bike, because that's what it is. But I certainly see one of these in my future. Sartée also has a larger bike that seems to be more business focused, apparently hefty enough to haul kegs of beer. But there it is, the Sartée S80. And those were my favorite rides of Micromobility America 2023. It truly was an eye-opening experience. There was just an incredible collection of rides, but more importantly, people from all parts of the industry, many there for very different reasons. However, the absolute beautiful thing, while we may have had our own motivations for attending, we were a collection of people who believed that there was a future where we can move around our cities without a car. And that was pretty cool. Anyway, my name is Nick. Thanks for watching.